This is the briefing for Tuesday, August 4th, the day that the S&P 500 broke out of a rotational pattern that it had been in since May of this year. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see if this breakout can hold or if we're going to see a complete retracement in tomorrow's trading. Earnings are coming in good. I guess the market is looking on oil prices as falling to being stable, and interest rates came down slightly over the past couple days as well. Now you can see here, this is a daily chart of the spiders representing the S&P 500. So you can see this was Monday's trading. You can see the test of the 700 area. Interestingly enough, it was on a little bit lower volume, but of course, this whole time frame from really going back even before May goes back to April of this year is just a very low volume area compared to what we had prior to that time frame going back into last year. But in any event, we had a little bit of a tick up in volume in the spiders in today's trading. Now, this 760 area, that was resistance. It is now support, and it's now very, very important support. So a couple things to watch for in the coming days, I should say. A lot of times we see a breakout, and then we see a retest of the breakout. If that occurs and 760 or that area around 760 holds, typically the next move is going to be a very, very big move, a very positive move. On the other hand, if we break 760 and we close below 760, that's going to suggest that today was a false breakout, and we're going to see potential for a rotation back through the range. I think that is a lower probability, at least at this point in time. And then, of course, the third probability is we're going to see follow through in tomorrow's trading. Now, you can see we've got a little bit of selling that came in at the end of the day, but for the most part, the market closed near the high of the day, which suggests there potentially would be follow through if the market hadn't closed or the day session had not closed. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in tomorrow's trading. But the most important thing to remember is you do not want to see this market much below the 760 area for the spiders. 52-week highs minus 52-week lows expanded very nicely, 316 positive, very nice. And you can see the general trend in market breadth going. This low, I guess, was back on the 29th. Last week. I guess that was Wednesday of last week. And then you can see how market breadth had been strengthening as we moved up through this area here. And then, of course, into yesterday's trading, testing the 760 area. So really some positive news here, some good strength coming into the market. Keep in mind, one day does not necessarily suggest, or a one-day breakout does not necessarily suggest that we're off to the races, but certainly the building blocks for that are certainly here, especially on this rotational pattern that we saw with a pause in yesterday's trading right at the 760 area. Looking at the Qs, you can see the Qs had a good day today also, trading above the 701 area, gapping above it, and trading right up to the 723, 724 area before pausing going into the close. Volume ticking up slightly in the Qs, a little bit different. The volume in this area right through here in the Qs, you can see that area right through there appears to be beginning to develop like this area through here where we had just lots of volume that was coming into the Qs. Not so much in this area where we really just saw volume in the Qs just absolutely die. So seeing a little bit more volume overall coming into the Qs, at least at this point in time. NASDAQ breadth, really, really a good day in terms of NASDAQ breadth, 2,343 shares positive. Once again, the trend in breadth was strengthening for the last several trading days. So that's very, very positive for the NASDAQ. Watch what happens if we break above this 728 area. That's the next level of resistance where we tested it in today's trading. Then above that is going to be the 747 area. And then above that is a breakout move, which could be a significant move in terms of the NASDAQ. In terms of the Russell, you can see Russell had a good day today. It was a good day in the market overall, testing this 302 area, which is the upside resistance. Volume falling off in the IWM. Now this is really similar to what the S&Ps were showing us. This is volume in the IWM. You can see how low it is compared to what it was back in this time frame back through here, going back to the beginning of 2026. So that's going to be very interesting to see see if we see any more volume begin to come in after today's move to the upside, testing upside resistance, and the breakout move in the spiders. Once again, market breadth in the Russell. This is Russell breadth, so you can see that it was improving over the last several days of trading. Slight downtick in today's trading. Yeah, that's a divergence, but those slight divergences like that, you're really nothing to write home about. I would not even consider it in the analysis, at least at this point in time. Looking at where we are in terms of the overbought and oversold condition, we are extremely overbought in the NASDAQ, as you can see here. We are basically approaching an overbought condition in the NYSE, but not there yet. This would allow for a continuation of move higher. This would suggest to me it wouldn't be surprising to see some type of pause in tomorrow's trading to work off this extreme overbought condition. That could develop as something as a higher high above today's high, and then a pause or a slight move to the downside and a pause, and then another potential move higher once the extreme overbought condition gets worked off. But once again, this indicator is not 100% accurate, so we could see a continuation of the move higher, and we could see this become even more and more extremely overbought, assuming we see higher prices in tomorrow's trading. Now, one thing I want to point out also, and I think I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. This is the diamonds representing the Dow Industrials. This is the IYT representing the Dow Transports. In Dow theory, if you do not get a confirmation between the industrials and the transports, it suggests that there potentially is some type of weakening within the market itself. So you can see here that the Dow Industrials made a new all-time high, and the transports did not follow. So you can see the difference between the two. There's a divergence between the two. That's a Dow theory divergence. So it's going to be interesting to see if that divergence continues to hold through tomorrow's trading. Should the industrials catch up and trade above this high or above this high here in terms of the transports, then that would suggest that this is a false signal, and that we're going to be seeing much higher prices. I'll be watching this over the next day or two to see if that Dow theory issue plays out, or if it's if this is just more or less a precursor to the transports catching up to the industrials. Looking at total volume, you can see total volume in the NYSE up slightly in today's trading. Net volume. Now this is a positive because you remember that we were basically in a rotational pattern in net volume. Net volume being up volume minus down volume. So you can see that we had a breakout in net volume. So most of this volume that we had in today's trading was up volume. That's a positive once again for the market. Volume down in the NASDAQ. This is NASDAQ volume. This was Friday's trading. So you can see volume was coming in, but you can see net volume was down. But now we got volume down and net volume up in the NASDAQ. So I would suggest to you that that is a positive for the market as well, even though we saw total NASDAQ volume down, at least in today's trading. Now, one other thing, there is a earnings announcement out for SpaceX, and I'm going to, well, I can't bring that up right now, but the earnings announcement came up for SpaceX, and it appears that SpaceX is up. It's really volatile right now. It's up only about 60, 70 cents, but it's moving up and down very, very quickly. So it's going to be interesting to see when that settles what the impact of SpaceX earnings are on the total market move. I'll pick this back up again tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a very, very interesting day. Watch for a potential divergence in market breadth. Should we see higher prices and lower breadth, that's a signal that potentially we're going to see a pause or some type of counter trend rotation. And keep in mind also that today was a pretty big move. So it would not surprise me to see some type of a pause in tomorrow's trading as well. Have a great night.